Hello, this is my criminology project. I chose Al Capone and I'm going to be talking about the differential association. Now, a little bit of background. Al Capone was born in Brooklyn, New York. He is Italian. He is an Italian American male. He got married in 1920, only had one child. He became infamous for his crime in Chicago, Illinois. And he was born on January 17, 1899, and died on January 25th, 1947. Now, who is Al Capone? He is an infamous gangster during the Prohibition era. He became the leader of the Chicago outfit. He wasn't originally the leader, but he later became one. We'll talk about that later. Criminal activities consist of bootlegging, gambling, organized crime, and much more. But most of it was during the Prohibition era. Most crimes were in Chicago, but later expanded across the U.S. And there's no exact number on the victims, but some suggest he is responsible for over 200 murders. He was arrested in 1931 for tax evasion. Oh, sorry, that's my cat. He was arrested in 1931 for tax evasion. He was sentenced to 11 years in federal prison, given a $50,000 fine, and ordered to pay back his taxes, which is crazy because that means he never got arrested or convicted for any of his other crimes, since there was never enough evidence to show that he did all that stuff, but they were able to find his tax evasion. He was released in 1939, but had health issues leading to his death 8 years later. Now, what is a differential association? It was developed by Edwin Sutherland. It is a micro theory since it is an individualized theory or a small group instead of a whole social issue or theory. Now, it's a person's tendency towards conformity or deviance depends on the amount of contact with others who encourage or reject the conventional behavior. According to this theory, a person commits a crime because of who they surround themselves with, and which right here it's Johnny Torrio. Now, Johnny Torrio, he was the leader of the Chicago outfit, and he took on Al Capone as sort of a prodigy, price out of his he took him on as like a how do I say this? Like a prodigy. Um he he got I believe he got like shot and he couldn't take over anymore. He couldn't be the leader anymore. So he stepped down, he retired, and he gave all of the power to Al Capone. So, which a lot of people are saying, if he wouldn't have met Johnny Torrio, would he have still been this gangster that is big and well known? Although I will say he did already commit, and he had already surrounded himself with certain criminals at a young age. So he was already a criminal, a gangster, whatever, before he met Johnny Torrio. But it just made it a lot bigger and expanded it once he met Johnny Torrio. Now, Al Capone is also, I believe, an innovator as he gained wealth through the alternative way, not the traditional way, which is committing crime. Instead of just finding a job, a good paying job, he resorted to to committing crime and gaining his wealth that way. And I asked if this was a large social issue or a personal issue. I believe it's a little bit of both. I don't know if that was an option, but I think it's a little bit of both since socially he grew up in poverty and lived through the Prohibition era. And personally, since he surrounded himself with criminals, it shaped his life and mindset. And I believe that Al Capone does fit this theory since, like I said, he started hanging around with Johnny Torrio, which he himself showed him how big he can be, later making him the leader of the gang. And Al Capone, you asked if we could find another theory that they could fit in, and I believe that he fits in the strength theory, as he wanted to achieve success, but being poor and lacking opportunities made the legal path for him very difficult. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not justifying like his actions or anything, but I am saying that since he grew up in such a poor household, it was difficult to sort of accept that you can find a job or you can find a good paying job since all you're surrounding yourself at a young age is poverty. You start telling yourself that maybe this, like the getting a job maybe isn't the right way. I need to find a different way because I want to be better off than my parents or better off in the whole family. And that's why I feel like he believed that going the criminal route was the best route to gain wealth and everything. But yeah, that's my project. Thank you.